Well, now our big focus this evening. Great news for Mayawati after the Supreme Court threw out the 9-year-old disproportionate assets case against the former UP Chief Minister. Slamming the CBI, the Supreme Court said the methods adopted by the CBI in broadening its investigations against Mayawati were unwarranted and without jurisdiction.
आज माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो फैसला दिया है अर्थात मुझे जो राहत दी है उसका मैं और मेरी पार्टी दिल से स्वागत करती है.
A triumphant Mayawati welcoming the verdict of the Supreme Court that has quashed the criminal proceedings against her in the 9-year-old disproportionate assets case, accepting Mayawati's plea on the grounds that the CBI had only been directed to probe the Taj corridor scam in 2002 and not the assets of the former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister. The court said there was no direction to the CBI to conduct a roving inquiry. The method adopted by the CBI is unwarranted and without jurisdiction. There was no such question or issue about disproportionate assets of the petitioner. In 2008, the BSP chief had filed a petition seeking quashing of the disproportionate assets case against her. Accusing the CBI of carrying out political vendetta against her, Mayawati had argued that the case against her should be closed as the Income Tax Tribunal had already cleared her, and the tribunal order was even upheld by the Delhi High Court. Significantly, the Supreme Court did not go into the merits of the CBI's case against her. This means there's nothing to stop an all-new investigation, especially as today's judgment is not concerned with the period when her wealth jumped from 1 crore to 112 crores.
What I can see is that there is no clean chit, but this judgment is against CBI, not in favor of Mayawati.
The government is misusing the investigative agencies to use them as political tools.
The government was quick to dismiss the criticism.
So I think to link it with any other motive or to link it with any other relationship or link it with any event happening in the country would not be fair at all.
After a long drawn-out legal process spread over 9 years, the disproportionate assets case against Mayawati may now be headed for a quiet burial. While the CBI insists that Mayawati's petition has been accepted on a mere technicality, fact remains the court verdict has come as a major embarrassment for the premier investigating agency. And going by the strong reactions, it seems the political war of words over the issue has only just begun. With Bureau Inputs in New Delhi, Neha Khanna for NDTV.
Well, tonight we debate the larger issue, Mayawati's incredible wealth. Should the CBI investigate Mayawati's wealth, which went up from 1 crore to 119 crores in just 9 years? Joining us, Sudhindra Bhadoria, the BSP leader, Satya Vrat Chaturvedi, Rajya Sabha MP and spokesperson of the Congress Party, Sudhindra Kulkarni, senior BJP leader, PP Rao, senior advocate with the Supreme Court, Dr. Taslim Ahmed Rehmani, leader of the Samajwadi Party, Ajoy Bose, political analyst and author of the biography of Mayawati, the book titled Behenji. We'll be coming to our guests in just a few moments, but Mr. Chaturvedi, if I can come to you first. After the verdict in the Supreme Court today, the tone of the government seems to have changed. We heard Salman Khurshid, for example, say that let's respect what the Supreme Court has said, and everybody does that. But why isn't the Congress making any statements about probing those disproportionate or allegations of disproportionate assets against Mayawati? The increase in her wealth has gone up tremendously.
Well, this matter was being probed by CBI. But the Supreme Court says the CBI shouldn't have done that.
The Supreme Court said that the probe that they had wanted conducted was specifically in the Taj corridor case. There is nothing that stops the CBI from actually conducting any further investigation on any disproportionate assets case.
That's what Supreme Court says today.
Yes.
Now you go through the judgment of the Supreme Court.
I have, sir.
Now what the Supreme Court says is the FIR registered against Mayawati for disproportionate assets is not valid. This is what Supreme Court says. And if the CBI was supposed to investigate into all other things, then I mean
there is nothing in that judgment, sir.
After the order, after the
Yes.
adjudication by the Supreme Court,
Yes.
I mean, who can say that CBI was empowered to go into disproportionate assets?
Mr. Kulkarni, would you agree that the CBI should no longer investigate allegations of disproportionate assets against Mayawati based on what the Supreme Court has said today? Because that doesn't seem to be the interpretation. The Supreme Court has ruled on a technicality, right? They've said they've never ordered that.
See, in all the disproportionate assets cases, the CBI's interest is directly proportional to the Congress party's rivalry with that party. If that party is a threat, then the probe will certainly go on. If the Congress party becomes friendly or that party is needed for the Congress, then the tone changes.
Yes.
The CBI is being used as a political tool, I'm sorry to say, as a tool for blackmailing when needed and for befriending when needed in some other circumstances. You see, today's judgment raises some interesting or rather disturbing questions. Had this judgment come before the presidential candidates were announced, you know, it's interesting to know whether Mayawati would have supported the Congress or the UPA candidate, because you know the equations are now changed.
You want to
it's very
respond to
interesting that both
Yes.
Mayawati and Mulayam Singh Yadav ji both are supporting the UPA candidate.
Okay,
You know, it's really
respond.
strange in
Let him
politics.
let him
Vishnu,
respond.
very funny, very funny.
Okay.
When was this ordered? This was ordered during the NDA regime,
Yes.
2003, 2004.
Yes.
And it's being alleged by various political parties that the BJP or the NDA misused the CBI during their tenure, not us. Now, when it came to our regime, had we undone what they had done, we would have been accused of having a deal with Mayawati, because Mayawati and their party are our supporters in the center. Had we done that, then they would have accused us, why didn't you allow the judicial process to go on, let the court adjudicate on the matter.
Okay.
Why do you want to withdraw things? Because they are your supporters, so therefore you are favoring them. So we would have been accused of that. We allowed the legal process to proceed. Finally, the judgment has come from the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has done what?
But just in the last assembly
just a
election,
minute,
yes.
just a minute. Supreme Court has done what? They have quashed the FIR in the DA case.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app, fully optimized for retina display, full screen view, faster response time, and Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.